Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Playeressence over here at Playeressence.com, and I want to talk about the Wii U versus the Gamecube. It seems to me like everybody is putting up articles, Doom articles, things like that, talking about how the Wii U might end up like the Gamecube again. But before I get into that, I want to tell you a little bit about myself because I've noticed that I've been getting a lot of new subscribers. So I just want the new subscribers to know how I've operated, how I played games, from when I was little and stuff like that. I've always been into Nintendo games. I've always been into Japanese games. I've always liked RPGs and things like that. I like action games. I like stuff like that. I'm not really big into shooters. I liked shooters like Perfect Dark and stuff back when they were new, and COD 4 when that first came out. But I'm not huge into shooters and like third-person shooters like Gears and stuff like that. So with that being in mind, let me continue on. People are talking about the Wii U versus the GameCube, and as of right now, some people are saying, "Oh, well, the sales aren't tracking as high as the GameCube did, so that puts the Wii U in trouble." But we need to wait until Nintendo releases their official reports, because we can't just go off of VG charts or any other site like that, because the Xbox 360 and the PS3 would also be tracking lower than the GameCube as well if you're using those numbers. So we should wait till Nintendo releases their official reports at the end of the quarter, which is March 31st. Another thing to note is that when you're talking about GameCube and how it did, you have to look at the competition and what they were doing. Online play was starting to get big for consoles. The GameCube didn't have that. The Wii U has it. So that's one of the big problems with the GameCube, is that I think there was only one online game, which was Phantasy Star Online, and that was it through Sega's servers, and you needed to pay. It was an MMO. So you have to take that into consideration. You also have to factor in how the state of the PlayStation brand and PlayStation 2. The PS2 had exclusives just because, not even paid exclusives. I know some of them were paid, but a lot of them were just PS2 exclusives. Like, for instance, Devil May Cry, Monster Hunter, Dragon Quest. There was just a multitude of games. Even the Grand Theft Auto games were timed exclusives for any given number of time. So with franchises like that, of course the GameCube and even the Xbox One were going to suffer. It's a different landscape now. Microsoft came in, Nintendo came in, and they've taken away some of those games that were timed exclusives or exclusives. For instance, Monster Hunter and Dragon Quest. Both of those games were exclusives to the PS2, which in large part helped Sony in Japan just destroy the GameCube. That is not the case anymore. Sony does not have Devil May Cry as an exclusive. They don't have all these games as an exclusive anymore. So therefore, comparing the Wii U and how it's going to be compared to the PS4 and Xbox 720, saying, "Oh, well, it's just another GameCube," it's invalid. It's completely invalid, because the exclusives that Sony used to have are gone. So at least in Japan, we can say with confidence that Sony's not going to dominate Japan like they did in the PS2 days, which made the GameCube so obsolete. And they don't show any focus of wanting to even dominate Japan. And I mean, to kind of get off the topic a little bit, they don't even show any. They have a Japanese studio. And during the PS4 press release, they said the Japanese studio is creating an American style like Pixar game called Knack. So if you have a Japanese studio, you'd think that they would make a Japanese-focused game, but that's not the case. So I'm not even sure how much Sony even cares about Japan, or if they even, want to retake Japan. And even look at, Soul Sacrifice for the PS Vita. You got one, hardcore, Japanese-style game from Sony for the PS Vita, and that's it, even though they're getting destroyed there against the 3DS. So I'm not sure how much Sony even wants to, take Japan. And Japan was a big reason why, the GameCube faltered, because they couldn't even, make a lot of sales in their own homeland. So comparing the GameCube to the Wii U it's not a very good comparison, and it's a comparison that's going to be proven false very quickly. And another problem with comparing the two is that Nintendo didn't really do a lot of collaborations back then. Nintendo made their own games, and they tried to get some exclusives like Piano 3 and Resident Evil 4 and stuff like that, and some games that got canceled like Dead Phoenix and stuff like that. But they didn't go out and do collaborations. Nintendo is definitely seeing that they have to get other companies on board to make HD games for their system, and they also have to branch out. So what do? They collaborate with Mistwalker to get the last story. And there's been a lot of rumors, if you check out Playeressence.com, there's been a lot of rumors that Last Story 2 is coming to the Wii U. You know, they went out and got Monolith Soft, you know, a team that can create, you know, really good, high quality RPGs for the Wii U, as you've seen with Xenoblade 2. They're going out and they're getting Atlas to help with Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem. Another collaboration that they probably would have never had, you know, in the past, especially in the GameCube days. So Nintendo was going out and looking for this, and they've also stated that they are going to branch out and get more collaborations. You know, so people who necessarily don't like Mario and Zelda can play Shin Megami or can play Xenoblade 2, and even the Smash Bros. Even some of their first party, you know, development games are collaborations with Namco Bandai. So I understand where people are talking about, oh well, it's like the GameCube, you know, it's going to be nobody's going to play it or buy it, you know. But the problem is that if you're going to compare it to the GameCube, the situations surrounding the GameCube have to be the same. And in this case, they're not the same. The market is completely different. The rise of PC gaming. I mean, the best place to play Devil May Cry back in the day was PS2. It was the only place. Now you can play Devil May Cry, the newest one, you can play it on the PC, which is the best version. You can play it on the Xbox 360 and the PS3. So the times have changed, the situations has changed, the exclusives are gone. Comparing those two time areas it's going to be difficult. And on top of that, the Wii U is probably going to be on the market longer than the GameCube, so it's probably going to sell a lot more than the GameCube. We're just going to have to wait and see. Patience is not something that a lot of people have on the internet. Patience is not a lot. It's not abundant on the internet. So people are just going to have to wait for Nintendo to put out their games. It does take a while. This happened with the 3DS, and when they started putting out their games, they've completely changed things around. So patience is a virtue. Patience is key here. And once again, I want you guys to please check out the website, playeressence.com. We have a lot of exclusive content on there, from opinion articles to these videos, as well as on YouTube. And make sure to check us out on Facebook. If you like us, you get all of our content first. So subscribe to this channel here, like us on Facebook. We also have Twitter. Follow us at Twitter, and so you can get all the tweets that I do all day. And just so some of you guys know, if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, I wear a lot of white t-shirts, and no, it's not the same one. I wear white t-shirts because where I live, it's hot. So yes, you'll be seeing a lot more white t-shirts because that's how I roll. Anyway, once again, I'm Furious Francis. Thanks a lot, guys. See you guys next time.